Hey guys, Basil and Wolf from Grayson Hobby, and today we have a new product from Diatone.
So you guys have seen the Diatone M3 Plus frame before. We reviewed it prior. So now Diatone's come back and released a 2-inch version of it. So we got the same electronics shrunken down on a smaller frame with smaller motors. So basically we have a really overbuilt 2-inch quad that's really cool.
What's the name of this guy?
This is the Diatone M2 Plus.
So in this video, we're gonna go over the components from tip to tip, front to back. We're gonna go over the VTX, the camera, all that good stuff. Then for a bonus, Will's gonna take 4 or 5 different kinds of props, fly real quick outside, get some good solid feedback of which props he likes, which prop he doesn't like. And
so we'll see if the plus means better or not.
Yes, so here it is.
And guys, I've already opened it up. I cheated a little bit.
But he's cheated and given that a quick test flight.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I came in and I quit working immediately. What? Who said
so
that?
how do you like it?
It's pretty cool. The factory tune out of the box left a little bit to desired. I was actually a little shocked, but this is a brand new product on the market. I don't think there's enough people have had it in their hands to really get a good tuning on it. I found the yaw gain was really low. It was very sloppy on yaw. I bumped it up a few points and it was good to go. The motors do run warm on these. That's typical with the heavier frame 2-inch quads. That's probably why I wouldn't go 4-cell necessarily on this without a lot of aggressive tuning. Maybe even black box tuning and stuff like that. I know the GT R90 was pretty marginal with the 2-cell lipos. This one, I would definitely probably say don't bother with 2-cell unless you just have a bunch laying around and you need something.
All right.
But this is the Diatone M2 Normal Plus.
That's again, a mouthful there.
Yeah. Again, there's a little yellow card about, oh look, the only legit site is diatone.hk. So you get the little thing, let's see what it says. Default tuning for 3-cell lipo. So it looks like it is 4-cell capable, but you have to do some tuning.
What's in the box?
So what's in the box is your warning card, stickers, the quad itself obviously, a set of GemFan 1940s, some zip ties, so you mount your antennas.
And those are long zip ties, by the way. They're not just regular zip ties. Long.
Yeah. 2 Velcro straps. Comes with an XT30 connector, so say you're having some old JST batteries laying around, that comes with a connector there. It does come with a buzzer board like the newer Rabbits and all that are coming with. This is something I did actually request Diatone, they did listen. The screws that hold the actual flight stack, they are now including some spares there and some extra little nylon M2 nuts. These are the screws for the propellers. This is the little rubber mount to secure the battery, the little anti-slip for the battery. And keep in mind, there is a little clear coat on that. You do need to peel that back, otherwise it's just smooth.
It's sticky, right? Like a sticker?
It's just rubbery. It's like the anti-slip mats you go in your car.
All right.
And then this is a replacement harness that goes from the speed controller to the flight controller. Now notice this is new. The older versions of the Diatones didn't have this. They were a smaller cable. This is the new one for the version 2 Fury F4M. Now the version 2 of the Fury is an 8K gyro, so it doesn't run 32K, which is what Butterfly and all that's supposed to be great for. It is 8K, but it's also running the MPU 6000 gyro, which anybody that's had these micros, when you start running those 32K gyros, you get the little yaw twitching here and there. That you gotta really be careful. You gotta make sure the stack is just perfect, not over tight, not over loose. The vibrations are very critical on the micros. With MPU 6000, yeah, you lose that 32K capability, but with 8K and a stable gyro, it flies just as good.
So in English, what's that mean?
It's better. It makes it easier to tune.
Gotcha. Okay. So
I think it's a more stable gyro. That's something I actually requested on that too. Actually, one thing to go over, because this is a plus frame. This is not an X.
Yeah. So
how do the props go on? So what you have
what
here.
Props are those?
These are the 1940 Hulkies, but these are just yellow. I put yellow on because I thought it looked cool.
I like it cool.
So I don't like the clear props that much. Okay. Plus, I wanted to see if the prop was actually visible in the camera.
Gotcha. Plus, when you crash, it's easy to see green.
And find it, yeah. The left and right props are actually going to spin counterclockwise when looking down at them. So you're going to have the lead edge of the prop going to the left here. And then the front two are going to be the clockwise, looking down on them. So they're going to go this way. So when you get that, you want to make sure you put the right props on.
All right, so you said in the beginning, this is you waiting for this one. Why that one versus the 3-inch?
Well, I have the 3-inch. I have the 3-inch right here. It's basically the same thing, same frame. It's actually the exact same plates, same electronics, 25 amp ESC, overbuilt right here. But instead of running the huge motors, they're running 1104 6000 kV motors. The thing about that, it keeps it light, and I have a million batteries from my SPC Maker, my Lizard 95, my Aurora 100, and so on from all the quads I've had in the past. 150 to 550 milliamp 3-cell. Okay. I've flown it with a 2-cell briefly. It's okay. It's very sluggish. I think with different props it'd be a little better, but with stock props. Now, one thing I really liked about this one, I'm able to lower the camera tilt even further because the motors, you don't have the nut, like the actual head of the shaft sticking up. So you have it pretty flush mounted there, and you can get the camera more inline level. So I would say if anybody's looking to get into the plus frames, try one. This is probably the way to go. The M2 or the 2.5 is probably gonna be the way to go to start off with. One, you're probably gonna have a million batteries laying around if you've been flying 2-inch quads. And two, the quad's light enough, it's not gonna break itself as easily when it crashes, like if you hit hard enough, because the other one's 100 miles an hour. This one's probably not near that.
All right. So let's wait.
Without the props. 74 grams. And let's compare that with the GT R90, which is 67. Oh,
66.9.
Yeah, 67 grams.
67, all right.
So we're adding a little bit more weight, but instead of having the carbon frame, we're having full metal frame. It's easier to mount the receiver in there. You can get an XM, XM Plus, or RXSR in there, no problem.
What about that little longbow?
The longbow receiver should go in there, no problem as well.
Okay, because that was the issue we had with the...
Yeah, that was what we ran into with the redesigned GT R90. It's really hard. You can't get the longbow in this thing. That's why we quit offering the plug and play on that one, or the bind and fly of that one with the longbow. Right. So you got a little bit more weight there, which actually should help it keep it from feeling as floaty. It'll help it drop a little quicker, but you will have a little less punch, vertical punch.
Gotcha.
Another thing that may factor in with the extra weight, if you look between the two here, this is a 2.1 of the GT R90. The flight stack's a little bit different. So this one added, what they've done is, like I said, exactly like the M3 version, the same flight stack. So we have the double filtered capacitors for the video, so it makes it super clean video. We're also have, instead of the SP1 camera, we are running a Runcam Micro Swift with a 2.1 lens. So you got a great, huge field of view with this thing. It's a 25 amp ESC versus 20, so that's something they did on this recently as well. But we have a 25 amp with an inbuilt current sensor. The current sensor is actually right here in the flight controller, so it's no longer on your XT30 lead. So a lot of guys ask me, hey, where's my current sensor? It's actually, instead of having the extra wire there, it's now on the speed control itself. So that way, if you guys want to change to XT60 or EC2 for some god-awful reason, or anything like that, you can change the connector without having to lose your current sensor. Hey guys, if say you got this and you crash it, you break the frame, the cool thing about this is with the longer wires from the plus frame, you can make this a GT R90 with a GIF frame change. So if you want an X frame M2 GT R90 frame, all you gotta do is get the frame kit. They're like 20 bucks or something like that. Nice thing about Diatone doing everything in a similar stack is now you have the ability to change frames from frame to frame to see what you like the best without buying 4 quads, 5 quads, something like that to get every single one.
Okay.
And down the road, if you wanna make this a 3-inch, you can literally buy a 3-inch frame, 3-inch motors, and now it's a 3-inch.
What they are. So what, go over the VTX real quick?
The VTX, now this is a TBS Unify V3 VTX, so it is 25, 200, 500, and 800 milliwatt capable.
Wow, okay.
So you got the VTX, the same thing you'd run on your 5-inch quad.
Right, so if anyone knows, TBS is probably the name right now, the go-to VTX.
Yeah, they did add not only the one capacitor for the 5-volt line for the input, but also for the video out there. So there's 2 capacitors on this to make it super clean video.
Wow, okay.
All right, so using the fancy metric system here, we're gonna go, this is, what is that, 135
maybe? It's hard to tell.
133 millimeters.
Okay.
So just shy of 135.
Judge, and then let's do the width.
All right, so motor to motor width wise, we're looking at 92, maybe 90. Yeah, like, something like that. Yeah. Less than 95. That's pretty small. This is a tiny little guy here.
This guy is gonna be 90.
Yeah, and knowing the GT R90, we got, what is that? Well,
it's like 80.
80 wide, and Wow, motor front to back there is really short. But when you go across like you're supposed to do with these, we're actually at 95.
So is there really, so they get the whole naming.
So the naming's just all kinds of weird on this one, but that's why it's called the Rabbit now. So what I want to check is to see if the Avons, because I love these on the GT R90, they do use a little more amp compared to the Gym Fan, but I love the way they fly.
All right, and then we're gonna go.
And also, let's take a look at, let's see what color we want to do. Black. All right. So Cyclone 2035s and
Polkies.
Green. Now let's do red.
All right.
All right. So we're gonna check these out.
All right. All right. So which one is this?
So what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna drop a couple props of each out. Let's just check the prop spacing on this because
we're not worried about the.
Being as it's not a true X. Yeah. Let's see what's. So Cyclone's up first. Let's just check. Yeah, we got clearance there. Let's see.
What size are those again?
These are 2035s, but I just want to make sure because it comes with a 1940. I was more concerned with the back side of this.
So those are the Cyclone by Dell 2035s.
Yeah.
Those who don't know,
so we'll have plenty of clearance on all the sides there. So there's not an issue there. Okay. These were kind of iffy on some quads. They were actually making contact on a couple because of the swept arm, the props on them. No issue on there. Let's see. Oh yeah, we're not gonna. I don't think we're gonna have any issues there. And there. So that's nice because that was one of the things on the early GT R90s people were complaining about was the wires for the speed control. We're making contact there.
And last but not least,
the Avons. So the Avons actually, because these sweep up a little bit, is probably gonna actually offer the best clearance, believe it or not. Yeah, there's really no issues there. Now this one you may actually see a little bit of the prop in the video. Compared to the other ones, because the other ones are flat and then down, whereas this one kind of goes up. But, and again, I'm not putting the props on in any specific order, I'm just dropping them on there.
Just so, for clearance.
Now,
and we're gonna go test flight. So you gotta fly any different with being a plus frame? You got any more tendencies you notice about?
It could be just me, but I feel like when you're forward flight, when you go to a turn, the yaw is more sensitive, but it almost feels like, kind of like flying a plane where you can almost fly it without using yaw. You can almost bank and yank.
Or yaw, in other words, for plane guys, rudder.
Yeah.
All right, so now we have the 3-cell battery on the Avon props.
Super small 3-cell battery.
All right, here we go. So now it's on 3-cell. What are you thinking here? I would record the quad, but
much more responsive.
Holy moly, that thing is fast.
Oh, it definitely carries into that flip. All right, you hear the oscillations there. Tuning is way off. Again, this was not designed, wasn't configured for these props either. Not a fair review of the quad to power because of this battery. It's one of the reasons we never sold the SPC batteries. Whoa! Oh, that was really close.
I saw the tree branch move. Oh, I saw the tree branch move.
That was really closer.
There you are, there you are. There you are.
All
right, guys, hope you liked that video. As usual, I did not fly anything. So, Will, tell us what you thought.
But he's got some amazing camera skills, guys. He's got amazing, check out these videos. We'll have some screenshots here. Awesome video.
So, what did you think?
I really like it. Stock tune out of the box. A little disappointed. It was a little undertuned on the yaw for sure. Changing the props actually had a very drastic change, even on 2-cell. I was not expecting that. Typically, 2-cell, if it's borderline tune, you can get away with it. The higher the voltage, usually the more picky the tune is. But even with 2-cell, changing the props, like the 2040s were just crap on this frame. I don't know if it's a harmonic issue, anything like that. I'm not really sure.
Like the Gem Fan.
I could have just had a bad set of props. That's another thing too. You can never rule that out.
So Gem Fan 2040s.
I'm gonna say don't buy the 2040s for this quad.
Right.
But the Avons work good. However, the Avons, if you just run the factory screws into it, you're gonna damage your motors. So you've got to change the screws to run the Avons. So that's a little bit of a hassle.
Really, the winner would be
Cyclones. I think overall the Cyclone 2035s may be the best. However, I did not fly them on 3-cell, so it could be at the higher RPMs. It could be not as good too. Realistically, when you guys are getting something like this, they're only a couple bucks for props. Buy a couple different types. See what you like the best.
Yep, because what he may like and you may like could be totally different.
Yeah.
And your flying style, your location, your altitude, all that good stuff is different.
Yeah. In the video, I did use an XM Plus receiver flashed with the OSD RSSI firmware on it. But Diatone's gone and put a nice camera on it. Great filtering. The video quality was excellent. The motors are smooth. I didn't see any issues there. The only thing I could say is the tune. Hopefully later revisions will probably be a little more dialed in. But again, it's based on what battery you're using and what props you're using.
Right. So, like with everything, let us know what you think about this video. Let us know what you want to see, and the link to the product below, and also a link on the link will have the updated PIDs from Diatone. We are in direct contact with them. At least we are every night.
Yeah.
All hours of the night, we're talking to those guys over there, and they're awesome support. We the support of those guys are just, it's kick butt, man.
They really like the hobby too. You can tell they actually want to improve their product. That's other companies, they come off strong and then all of a sudden they just fade out and nothing. Diatone is constantly wanting to improve it, and you can see it with their versions. So guys, I hope you liked the video.
Yeah, let us know. Bye.
Yeah.